What is good, YouTube, man? Today I'm back with you guys, with the nation, for another video, man. And today, from high demand from the last video, you guys showed immense, huge amounts of support on that last video, and I really appreciate it. That video has over about 3,000 views and still going, right? Still going. But out of all your guys' support and by high request, like I just said, you know, I did a week one, Raiders week one starting defense. I think it's time that we show that offensive side of the ball some love, right? So I'm going to give you guys the Raiders week one starting offense. And of course, this one's going to be a bit more difficult because there's more formations. So I'm really only going to stick around like 2-3 formations, just so this video isn't like an hour long. But let's get into the video, and really quick, I have to give a shout out to my boy Icy Nate, man. He is only, I believe, 2-3 subscribers away from 500 subs. So if you can, please go subscribe to his channel. It is just Icy_Nate. He is the guy that creates my thumbnails, and he does an amazing job every single time. But let's get into today's video, man, and let's just start it off, right? I'm going to start off in the trenches. You know, I'm going to start off in the trenches just like I did yesterday. Started off with this offensive line, week one. No surprise here. Starting left tackle is Colton Miller, right? No surprise. Just got a very well-deserved contract extension. No surprise there, right? No surprise at all. Then you go to left guard, and I believe here, no surprise as well. I believe he's on track or ahead of schedule when it comes to his rehab, and I believe that Richie Incognito will still 110% be our starting left guard, right? Our left guard position consists of really either Denzel Good or Lester Cotton, right? I mean, that's what we have right now as depth, right? So Richie Incognito, I believe week one, starting left guard, no surprise there. And now we have a bit of competition with this center position, right? You have James Morrissey. We drafted him in the 7th round. Guy was stoked to become a Raider, and apparently, you know, Tom Cable and John Gruden were head over heels for this guy. You also brought in Nick Martin, free agent from the Texans, right? Real reliable with the Texans when he was there. But you also gave Andre James some money this year, right? You also gave Andre James a good contract, and I do believe that Andre James week one will be our starter. I believe that this is his position, this is his role to lose, right? I believe that it's his now, and the only way that he, you know, gets that spot taken away is if, like I said, it's his to lose, right? If he were to lose it, it would be his fault. But I do believe that there's no doubt in my mind Andre James will do just fine playing center, and I do believe that he'll be our week one, probably all the way through week 17, be our starter, right? He'll be our guy. Now, going to right guard, right? Like I said, you have John Simpson, still high investment. I believe he was a top 115 pick 2 years ago. And for an offensive lineman, that's pretty big. But you re-signed Denzel Good, a very versatile lineman, possibly our MVP of this offensive side of the ball last year. He was a huge part in the minimal success that we did have on that offensive line last year. And Denzel Good, in my opinion, re-signed his contract to be that right guard for these 2 more years that he has on his contract. So right guard, starting week one, you have Denzel Good. No surprises there. Then we have our first round rookie that apparently the whole coaching staff, Tom Cable, Mike Mayock, John Gruden, and all the other positional coaches and all the other offensive coaches really fell in love with. And that is Alabama's 17th overall first-round pick, Alex Leatherwood. Right tackle, like I said, out of Alabama. Very solid run blocker. Sometimes he's a little bit, his pass pro is a bit, you know, it can be haywire a bit, but these are things that Tom Cable has no problems fixing up. So Alex Leatherwood, he is our right tackle of the future. Hopefully this guy is going to be what we all think that he can be under Tom Cable. And I think that there's no problems with Alex Leatherwood starting week one. And just to mention it, this first formation that I'm starting over is our main, because you know we are a run first team. This is our power run formation. So in this formation, we also have a fullback, right? But let's go to, like I just said, the fullback position. So starting with that offensive line, we had Colton Miller, Richie Incognito, Andre James, Denzel Good, and Alex Leatherwood. I believe that that's a very solid offensive line. Now, let's go to the fullback position. Obviously, there's nobody taking this guy's spot. Diamonds in the rough. And that is Alec Ingold, right? Alec Ingold is our starting fullback, 100 1,000%, right? I mean, there's nobody taking his spot. There's nobody fighting for his role. He is our fullback. Now, let's go to that running back position because we have a very, very stacked running back room. I mean, we have Jalen Richard. We got Ragas as a UDFA. We still have Theo Riddick. We signed Kenyon Drake, and we still have Josh Jacobs. 110% Josh Jacobs will be our feature back. He will be our guy starting in this power formation week 1. But we use our running backs as our running back 1 and our running back 2 just as much as each other, you know, like, imagine if last year every single rep that Devontae Booker got, Kenyon Drake got. Like, we're gonna be very, very good, right? We're gonna be very, very good. Now, obviously, starting quarterback, I don't think that this is a surprise to anybody, and that is Derek Carr, right? Derek Carr, week 1. Week 99, he'll be our quarterback, right? I mean, Derek Carr is our guy. He is our franchise quarterback. Now let's go into the receivers, right? Let's go into the receivers and tight ends. Wide receiver 1, in my honest opinion, week 1, I believe that Henry Ruggs will be our wide receiver 1. I see this guy day in and day out either being in a gym or putting on weight, or whether it's with Derek Carr on the field, but he's always doing something, right? Like, we've seen him bulk up, or it seems to be that he bulked up this offseason, really took what Mike Mayock said to heart, right, about our first-round rookies needing to produce more, and our draft class in general from last year needed to produce more. So, I really do believe that week 1, Henry Ruggs is going to be our wide receiver 1. Now, wide receiver 2, last year we saw these guys play a lot together. I do believe that in the beginning of the season, I do believe that Bryan Edwards will also be our wide receiver 2 next year. I do believe that all these guys that we signed are very, very solid depth players. Like, and when I'm talking about depth, we need to kind of calm down as a franchise. As depth does not mean that they're just getting put on the back burner. No, these people are going to rotate in and out a ton, especially in this offense. Now, for our slot wide receiver, the slot machine himself, Hunter Renfrow, there is no doubt in my mind. If there's 2 positions that are locked this year, it's slot wide receiver Hunter Renfrow and Alec Ingold, right? Like, I mean, those positions are freaking set in stone, right? I mean, there's no way that Alec Ingold or Hunter Renfrow loses their spots. And no doubt here, no surprise here, tight end week 1 and week 50 million is going to be Darren Waller, right? This guy is our tight end forever. For as long as he's playing, I believe he'll be our tight end. So, yeah, I mean, let's just go look at the depth, right? I mean, in my opinion, Henry Ruggs' rotational guy will be John Brown. Bryan Edwards' rotational guy is going to be Zay Jones. Hunter Renfrow's rotational guy is going to be Willie Snead. Obviously, Darren Waller's rotational piece and his partner in crime will be Foster Moreau. Foster Moreau, like I said, I was going to just go over this power scheme, this power formation that we would have here, that we would use Alec Ingold. But in the times that we don't use Alec Ingold, we're going to see Foster Moreau alongside with Darren Waller out there a lot together. And then let's just say that we are, we don't have Foster Moreau out there, or we don't have Alec Ingold. I do believe that we're going to see Josh Jacobs and Kenyon Drake out there a ton together, right? I mean, this team can be very, 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 or this offense can be top 5 if it's put together correctly, right? I mean, this offense has no shortages at any position. I mean, yeah, you can say that you have a question mark at right tackle, but we have the best freaking offensive lineman coach there is in this league, right? So I have no worries about Alex Leatherwood. Maybe you have a question mark at center with Andre James, but like I said, you have a proven caliber guy that we signed from free agency from the Texans in Nick Martin. So let's say worst comes to worst, Andre James did struggle a lot. You have a very, 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 very serviceable guy in Nick Martin, and some could say that he could start week 1, right? But I do believe that Andre James is going to start week 1, and like I said, Nick Martin can also play guard. He can also play center. He was a guard coming into the NFL. So, I mean, I really like this, right? I mean, then you have the question marks like, oh, are we going to trade for Julio Jones? Then this offense could look freaking disgustingly good, right? I mean, but I don't really want to get into that. But, I mean, let's just think about it, right? I mean, you can have Darren Waller, Henry Ruggs, Bryan Edwards all out there at once, as well, and all you would have to do is take out Alec Ingold. That's all you would, or no, you would be able to keep Alec Ingold in. But now if you wanted to have if you wanted to have Hunter Renfrow in there to be, you know, a real matchup nightmare for everybody, you would just take out your fullback. You would be able to have Henry Ruggs, Bryan Edwards, your slot machine, and Hunter Renfrow, as well as having your best tight end out there on the field with Darren Waller, and you would still be able to have Josh Jacobs out there. I mean, there is so many different ways that this offense can attack defenses this year, and I'm very excited because, I mean, I really don't see, if this offense is executed well, I don't see a team that can match up with a healthy and very productive Henry Ruggs that I do believe we'll be seeing this season. I don't see any real team being able to match up with Bryan Edwards and Darren Waller in the red zone. I mean, Darren Waller isn't just a red zone tight end. Darren Waller, he was our deep threat for most of the year last year, right? I mean, as well as was Nelson Aguilar, but Darren Waller there is no limitations on what he brings to this offense. Darren Waller, I don't see a team with, if you have a productive Bryan Edwards, a productive Henry Ruggs, you also have to worry about your star tight end Darren Waller. You also have to worry about your star running back in Josh Jacobs and Kenyon Drake. I mean, like I said, if this offense is you know, put together and worked well, I don't see many teams that can match up man to man, roster for roster with this team, right? I mean, Darren Waller in his own is gonna create a double team. Henry Ruggs in his own is gonna create people to have to back up. That's gonna leave holes for Josh Jacobs, right? I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot to handle. And then as well as if you're in the red zone and you put in Kenyon Drake and Josh Jacobs at once, you still have Darren Waller out there. You can still have Foster Moreau out there. Then on the opposite side, since we're in the red zone, you can throw a Bryan Edwards out on the island. He's going to be one-on-one. And I would take my chances with Bryan Edwards one-on-one with any DB in this league, right? I mean, this offense has the talent, has everything that it needs to be top 5, to be top 10. I mean, we were a top 10 offense last year. I just can't wait to see what we do. I mean, as far as people, you know, kind of worried or not knowing what we'll do with a guy like, maybe, you know, I've seen dumb stuff like Josh Jacobs is an overrated running back. I've seen that a lot this offseason. Josh Jacobs is far from overrated. Josh Jacobs had over 12 touchdowns, over 1,000 yards with a bottom 5 run blocking offensive line. You know what happened to guys? And here's my thing. I don't mean to go on a rant here at the end of the video, but you know, we give a lot of respect to a guy like Joe Mixon, and I love Joe Mixon. But Joe Mixon's thing was, oh, he needs a productive offensive line, and he'll be one of the best running backs in the NFL. I mean, let's do it this year, right? I mean, Josh Jacobs had one of the worst run blocking offensive lines, and he's been productive. I mean, Joe Mixon, we give a lot of credit to him, and we do a lot of the backlash on his offensive line when he doesn't produce, but at the end of the day, they don't do the same for our guy in Josh Jacobs, right? But I mean, like I said, Raider Nation, we have a ton of talent on this offensive line, in this offense room in general. I really, you know, just to sum it up, if we were to get a guy like Julio Jones, I wouldn't be mad at it at all, right? I mean, he is a true veteran presence. I get it. He may not be what many of us want. I'm not saying that I want him, but if we were to get him, I would not be mad at whatsoever. I mean, this offense, like I said, would just become even more potent. It would be even tougher for rosters on that defense side of the ball to match up player for player, because there will be too many weapons for teams to worry about. And who knows, maybe John Gruden can really be thinking about this, right? But that'll be it for today's video, Raider Nation. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys watched all the way to this end of the season, or into this video, drop a Julio Jones in the comment section down below, man. But that'll be it for today's video, Raider Nation. Like, comment, subscribe if you can, and I'm out. Peace.